Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? It's your boy Yellow the Poet. So today I want to talk about 10 things that children go through in terms of feeling being disrespected by their parents. So you got 10 signs, and we're going to talk about the reasons why this actually happened and give you some pointers on some of the things that you can actually do to overcome these obstacles and have a better relationship with your children. So let's dive into it. All right. So we're looking at number one being withdrawals, two, increased defiance, three, frequent arguments, four, disrespectful language, five, emotional outbursts, six, negative self-talk, seven, change in behavior. Number eight would be reluctant to share. Number nine, seek validation elsewhere. And then number 10, the physical signs. So we're going to break down all these things, what they mean, and this will give you an opportunity to see what your children are feeling and why they're feeling the way that they're feeling. Let's do it. All right, so one of the things is number one is the withdrawal. So there may come a time when your child is more withdrawn or isolated and just don't feel like they want to be around you. You know what I'm saying? So this is a time where you may want to express more empathy, teach your child about empathy and discuss it with them, the actions and the effects that empathy can have on them. If you're giving them the empathy that they need, then sometimes it opens the doors for your child to actually be able to communicate with you and feel like they're not being disrespected by their parents because this parent, my parent, is someone whom I can actually go to and talk to at any given time. There's a basically an open door policy. Number two, we're looking at increased defiance. A lot of times the children are defiant against their parents, they're rebellious and in their behaviors due to the fact that they're showing opening challenges that they have with the authority figure, meaning their parent, their mom, whomever their guardian is. Um, they're showing this defiance due to the fact that this parent doesn't listen to them, doesn't show any signs of empathy or concern about anything that they have to say. So you want to be mindful of these things and be careful not to allow these things to become a part of your relationship with your children. You're also looking at, for the children who can actually talk, we're looking at frequent arguments. So a lot of times your child's going to rebel against you, but also be verbal with you, constantly showing signs of arguments or conflicts over some of the smallest little things, but it's small to you, but it may be a big thing to them. So pay attention to these things and see how you can actually rectify these things. Don't just dive in because I'm the parent, oh, I'm the mom, I'm the dad, or I'm the grandma, I'm this, I'm that. Don't get so complacent with those types of emotions or those types of feelings that you don't listen to your child because you may be setting your child up for failure or setting your child up to be in some type of accident or just go off and do something reckless. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that for their children. All right. So let's dive into number four, looking at disrespectful language. A lot of times your children express sarcasm and criticism, and they're also using disrespectful tones due to the fact that they feel like you're never listening to them. Whatever they say, you're like, uh-huh, mm-hmm, mm-mm. Nah, don't do that. I've done that before, and that just like you're not really engaging in the conversation with them and showing them like, hey, I've been in those shoes before. I want you to understand that being in these types of shoes, these are some of the possibilities and things that can happen. And this is actually what happened to me, and I don't want that to happen to you. So you need to engage and get involved in that conversation that your children are trying to have with you. It may seem like a small thing, but you never know. You may be setting your child up for success, just giving them a little bit of insight and giving them a little bit of your time. Um, Mostly for the children that don't really have a voice, you'll be looking at emotional outbursts. And when I say don't really have a voice, it's not so much that they're so adolescent that they can't speak. A lot of times the children feel like they can't talk to you. So they're going to express this through their emotions rather than trying to have a conversation with you. They're expressing that they're frustrated, they're angry, and they're showing who it's all directed to, and do you sit back and do any type of self-reflection on yourself and how you communicate with your child? Are you doing that? Because if you're not doing that, then this is an approach that will be more beneficial to you to actually go out there and pay more attention to the things that you're actually saying and doing in the presence of your child or in the presence of a child that you're mentoring, a child that looks up to you, whatever the case may be. All right. This takes us into number six when we're looking at negative self-talk, because a lot of children who have emotional outbursts also have negative self-talk, which means that they're showing signs of low self-esteem and low self-worth due to the fact that they can't get an open and honest and direct conversation with the person that's responsible for them. And this affects many things in their lives. It can also affect them academically. You want to be careful with that whole not saying anything or being so stern that you're not even trying to understand exactly what your child is going through. In this day and age, behaviors are a lot different from when you were growing up. So that's one of the key points that you would definitely need to keep in mind. It's not the same as when you were growing up. Children are um, a little more easier to stress out than what we were when we were growing up. So, keeping that in mind, let's see how we can actually understand what our children are going through and how we can help them to get through it. All right. So, you also want to look at reluctant to share. So when the child is reluctant to share things, they're reluctant to share information, they're reluctant to share their toys, they're reluctant to share incidents that may have happened to them. Instead, they would rather talk to somebody else rather than talk to you. And these are signs that they don't really trust you and they feel like they're undervalued when trying to talk to you. So you don't want your child to feel like they can't trust you, they can't even talk to you. That's terrible. That's really, really bad. And they need to be able to talk to you. And you don't want them to go into the next pointer, which is to seek validation elsewhere. If they have to seek validation elsewhere, then I'm sorry to say it, but what good are you as the person or that's supposed to be the main person in their lives? They go in and talk to their peers, they go in to talk to people on social medias, just anybody that helps to meet those unmet needs at home. And that's not good because allegedly no one else is going to have their best interests at heart better than the person that's responsible for them. That's what it's supposed to be. Now we're going to go into the last one, which is the physical signs. So a lot of times you're looking at your children being nonverbal or giving nonverbal cues. Like for example, they're crossing their arms, they're avoiding eye contact with you, they're doing all this heavy sighing. You know, when they got to do all these types of things, then obviously the way that you're talking to them, something that you're saying, something that you've said in the past is very disrespectful to them, and they lack the comfort and the feelings to be respectful towards you or to understand that you are going to be respectful towards them. They lack these things, and that's not cool that they should even have to go through that. So, key point is, and things that you would need to do as a parent, definitely do some self reflection. Take the time out to pay more attention to yourself and um, learn some tips and behaviors, patterns of children, things that'll help you to have a better and build a better relationship with your children. Try some active listening. Listen to what your children have to say. Give them a chance to have the floor and have the spotlight just for that moment, and do some open dialogue. Open communication can be one of the most powerful tools that you could ever use with your children, because it allows them to not have a fear of being a bit judgmental, or having the opportunity to discuss something of relation to something that you and your child may have gone through together. Give them that opportunity and don't take that away from them, because you too may also learn something from that discussion. You know what I'm saying? Be modeled, be respectful, have that type of behavior that you can express and that you can receive from the conversations that you have with your child. Um, Acknowledge the struggles. You know what I'm saying? When you're acknowledging the struggles, it gives you an opportunity to understand that these adolescent children face numerous challenges, and they also have a lot of pressure, peer pressure, people telling them things, and people always over them, and people always trying to reinforce their feelings are valid and the child's feelings are not. So knowing that these children are going through all these things, talk to them. Show them that you understand what it means to struggle. Give them some pointers. Talk about, previous things that happened to you. You don't have to go into major details, just pretty much stick to the topic and show them that, yes, I've been through that before. So this is what I did, and this is what I think would be a good idea for you to do too. Or, you know what I'm saying? Tell them to give it a try. You know what I'm saying? Set some clear expectations, establish clear expectations and clear boundaries so that your children can definitely say, hey, I love talking to my mom. I love talking to my dad. I don't have a problem with talking to whomever the guardian is over me. They don't have a problem with talking to you. And avoid the blame game, please. The blame game is one of the most harshest games that you can ever do. Instead of saying, oh, you did this, you did that, ask what happened. Ask what happened. And then ask them, well, what part or what role did you play in this particular event? And help them to understand that there's cause and effect. So whatever you did to cause the situation, there's always going to be some type of effect that goes along with that. You may not like it. You may like it, depending on if you're dealing with good karma or bad karma. But this is a part of life, and these are the things that we as human beings, we actually go through these things. Um, Encourage empathy. You know what I'm saying? Teach your child about empathy by discussing how their actions can affect others, like what I just said, cause and effect. How it affect others, how it affect you as a parent, and how that effect could turn into something else, against that child. So they need to think about it from both sides. Teach them how to think about it from both sides and not just have a um one-sided perspective. So let's also talk about addressing conflicts calmly, instead of being so enraged, instead of being so angry, instead of allowing that to take over what's supposed to be a conversation, what's supposed to be an opportunity to understand what happened from the beginning to the end. Be more calm, tone it down so that that child too will mimic your actions, and they too will tone it down. A lot of times children see what you do and they do what you do. So be the bigger person, be the bigger role model, and show them how to do it the right way. And sometimes seeking support from someone like myself or uh counselor, whomever you look up to, someone that is strong and good with advice and giving solid advice. Even if you have to seek the help of a psychiatrist or, a mentor or coach, someone, seek that support and allow that support to be understood by both parties so that you can continue on to have a great relationship with your child. That's all your boy got for today. I wish that you all have many, many blessings, and definitely take that opportunity and run with it to build that strong relationship. If you like this video, hit that like, definitely hit that notification bell. Bell, subscribe, and share this video with other people. So you never know who may need this advice. You might even save a life. Peace.